In what is yet another example of projection, an ex Trump advisor and megachurch pastor, Robert Morris, has been indicted for sex crimes against a child. Morris, the area megachurch pastor who resigned last year amid sexual abuse allegations, has been indicted in Oklahoma for child sex crimes that date back to the 1980s. To which I say, of course he did. Of course. Now, this is a former spiritual advisor to President Donald Trump and Gateway, which is one of the largest megachurches. Well, this guy has been particularly active in Republican politics. In 2020, for example, Trump held a roundtable on the transition to greatness there that was attended by then U.S. Attorney General William Barr and other prominent Republicans. Morris faces 5 counts of lewd or indecent acts with a child, the Oklahoma Attorney General's office said in a Wednesday evening press release. So I'm actually kind of surprised that Oklahoma, of all places, is actually going after predators. Wow. Hey, good, great. Now, the indictment comes less than a year after Morris resigned from Gateway Church in Southlake after an adult woman, Cindy Clemishire, said Morris repeatedly sexually assaulted her while she was a child in Oklahoma in the 1980s. Morris, at the time, was working as a traveling preacher. Just everybody watch out for them traveling preachers, man. In a Wednesday text message, Clemishire said that through an attorney that she was grateful for these indictments. After almost 43 years, the law has finally caught up with Robert Morris for the horrific crimes he committed against me as a child. Now it is time for the legal system to hold him accountable. My family and I are deeply grateful to the authorities who've worked tirelessly to make this day possible and remain hopeful that justice will ultimately prevail. Now, one of the things that Oklahoma has apparently done is made it so that you can go after people for sex crimes, even when they happen happened in the 1980s. So now, that said, not only did Morris allegedly assault this little girl when she was like 12, okay, he also had at one point attempted to bribe her into silence. According to a leaked phone transcript from 2005, Morris, who had confessed to the sexual assault, told the victim to, quote, put a price on it. The transcript allegedly showed that Clemishire was like, all right, give me $2 million. Morris then hung up the phone. Clemishire also says she had filed a civil lawsuit against Morris that same year, but attorneys claimed that she was responsible because she was being flirtatious. Yes, that's right. Oh, you were being too flirtatious. She was 12. Okay. And had offered her $25,000 to sign an NDA, which she had, of course, had refused. In 2007, Clemishire's attorney sent a letter to Morris requesting reimbursement for therapy she had undergone because of the abuse and attempted to settle the civil claim. Morris would only agree to a settlement if Clemishire would sign an NDA. Shut up, shut up, shut up, is his whole thing. No, you shut up, shut up, shut up. I'm going to sign your rights away. Don't say anything. Don't speak. Don't tell anybody what I did. I mean, that just really shows that he was trying to cover up this whole thing. Okay? And that's it. Now, she, of course, refused and walked away from that settlement. Now, it would unfortunately take almost 20 more years for this to catch up to Morris. And I am wondering, though, if there were maybe more victims. I mean, I don't know for sure. But a lot of predators don't just start with one. Okay? Now, her parents knew about that abuse after she had told them. It's when she was 16, so the abuse had gone on for several years. And her father was like, get out of the ministry or I'm going to the authorities. Stop being a pastor. He did, and then came back 2 years later. Because, of course, right? Hey, man, it's hard to walk away from that megachurch money, as well as easy access to possible victims. That's why I'm wondering whether or not there are more victims that are waiting to come out. I don't know. That said, Clemishire is not the only victim of the Texas megachurch scandals. At least a dozen Dallas area churches or pastors have been accused of committing or concealing sexual misconduct. Morris was just one of the most high profile due to his political activities. In fact, back in 2017, Morris was tapped by Governor Greg Abbott to help support his bathroom bill. You know, the transgender ban. So stopping trans people from using their preferred bathroom. So the argument here is a bit ironic, saying that, oh, if we allow trans people into the bathroom, then we're endangering children. Well, he would know about endangering children because that's what he did, allegedly. Okay. The irony here. The irony. Okay. Now, along with Abbott, by the way, Morris had a relationship with President Donald Trump, which I think personally had a lot to do with predators sticking together, because Trump has his own issues with sexual abuse. Okay. Now, during Trump's 2016 presidential campaign, Morris was among 3 other Dallas area religious leaders serving on Trump's Evangelical Advisory Board. And in 2021, Morris was part of an effort to mobilize conservatives and evangelicals ahead of Trump's 2024 presidential bid. So let me just stop there for a second. I've heard this word evangelicals, okay, which kind of explains these kinds of people, okay, because they're obsessed. And we can see maybe one of the reasons why they're obsessed with kids' genitals. Just saying. Look, this guy, speaking of genitals, is balls deep in Republican politics. For years, Morris and Gateway would show slates of local school board candidates on the church's massive screens in the lead up to elections. It's doing electioneering, okay? In fact, he said, many of you see what Satan... Yes, that's right. Talking about the devil here.
It's the devil, okay?
Many of you see what Satan has been trying to do, even in our school systems. Morris told some of the church's roughly 25,000 members in 2023 before showing a list of Republican candidates. You know what? Talk about the evil in the schools, right? No, you're the evil in the schools. You're going around and abusing school children, okay? Allegedly. And then having your lawyers blame the victims here, your victims, for being too flirtatious. That's so incredibly disgusting. It's gross. And of course, you know, what he did with promoting Republican candidates in the churches, by the way, also violates the prohibition on churches being involved in politics. Any church that does this should lose their tax-exempt status. You want to play? Pay to play. All right? Start paying your taxes. Look, at the end of the day, though, this is not at all surprising. Here we have yet another white evangelical anti-LGBTQ pastor that was busted preying on children. Not only that, but I have to say this too. Not a drag queen. Another case of not a drag queen. How many times do I have to point out that it's right-wing evangelical pastors and politicians that are more of a threat to your children than drag queens and trans people? In fact, I think the more people talk about these supposed threats from trans people, how much they pose, how the threat they pose to the little kids. No, the more likely that those people are hiding something real dark. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.